Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News, some latest events in Tay Ninh province. And now coming to details. Ladies and gentlemen, faced with the complicated evolution of the epidemic in many localities, Deputy Prime Minister Vũ Đức Đam head up the National Steering Committee for Epidemic Prevention and Control, chair and organized a meeting of the steering committee with 9 provinces and cities with industrial park zone the afternoon of June 11 to carry out epidemic prevention working industrial park in cities such as Hồ Chí Minh City, Hà Nội, Bắc Ninh, Bắc Giang, Đồng Nai, Bình Dương, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, Tây Ninh, and Long An. Chairman of the Bronze People Committee Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc head up the Bronze Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control, and members of the Bronze Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control were present at the province main report.
According to the Ministry of Health, the tracing work in many localities is still confusing, primarily in terms of testing work, the time to return test results, and tracing patients caught and a subject with positive high-risk results, all of which are affecting the tracing work. As the result, the Ministry of Health has received the entire tracing guidance process and piloted it in areas with complex epidemics in order to adjust and standardize the implementation across the country. And also at the conference, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc determined that Tay Ninh has 4 risks of disease transmission, including the people entering illegally from the border, people from other localities, and people from epidemic-affected areas to Tay Ninh province, and as well as the people from epidemic-affected areas to Tay Ninh province also. The source of infection in industrial zones as well as the source of infection in worker housing areas, and since then the province has devised unique solutions to address its risks. In addition, Tay Ninh mobilized the entire political system to quickly localize trace blockage and prevent the spread of F0 in the community from a single case. Based on the real situation, the province will take specific measures to respond to the epidemic so that the economic development and the people's lives in the province are not jeopardized. In the response, Deputy Prime Minister Vũ Đức Đam praised the epidemic prevention measures in the Tay Ninh province, particularly in the request to clear information for the people with COVID-19 symptoms to buy medicine at pharmacies. Deputy Prime Minister Vũ Đức Đam stated at the conference that the epidemic situation in Vietnam has been largely contained. Localities have gained a thorough understanding of the pandemic situation in its commune by utilizing an operating information system. During the 4 outbreak, however, the National Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control of the National was most concerned about disease spread in industrial zones. As a result, municipalities must maintain tight control and ensure that the pandemic do not emerge and spread in the industrial zones. Strengthening anti-epidemic safety in inspection and industrial parks in particular, and regularly updating the situation of COVID-19 safety system. In industrial zones, keep an eye on the workers' health, prepare for situations that may arise after a case that has been identified, implement and social isolation plan, manage F1s, and prevent the disease from spreading in the community.
Based on the number of vaccines distributed in Tay Ninh, the Department of Health of Tay Ninh province has developed a plan to deploy the 3rd phase of COVID-19 vaccination in Tay Ninh. The vaccine used in this phase is the vaccine by AstraZeneca. As a result, the 3rd round of COVID-19 vaccination in Tay Ninh is scheduled to take place from June 15 to July 24, 2021, with the reviewers to vaccination experience and determination to make the best use of the vaccine source. It is estimated that 11.5 people will be injected per vial of vaccine, with 21,000 doses of vaccine distributed. In addition to considering the second injection for frontline forces fighting the epidemic who are already received the first injection, the subset prioritized for vaccination in the 3rd phase will adhere to the Government Resolution 21, specifically including people working in medical facilities are on the front lines of the fight against epidemic, participants in epidemic prevention and control, members of the epidemic prevention and control steering committee at all levels, people working in isolation areas, on duty tracing, investigating epidemiology, community-based COVID team, volunteer reporter, members, AME, police, Vietnamese employees and diplomatic dispatching approach, custom, immigration officer, provider of essential service, aviation, transportation, tourism, electricity, water, teacher, people working in educational and training institutions, and people working in LC and administrative units frequently interact with a large number of people. people suffering from chronic disease, as well as the over the age of 65, people who live in epidemic zones, the poor who benefit from social policy, individuals dispatched by competent state agencies to work, study, or working in another country. Other subjects designed by the Ministry of Health based on epidemic prevention and control requirements to ensure safe and effective vaccination. The Department of Health also requires vaccination units to set up emergency team at vaccination facility, as well as mobile teams that are ready to handle any adverse events that occur during vaccination.
As scheduled, about 350 employees of the CCG artificial grass company in Phước Đồng Nitrogen was tested negative at random. This is the outcome of a random sampling of COVID-19 screening test conducted by the Trảng Bàng Town Health Center for CCG artificial grass company employees on June 11th of 2021. This sampling is part of Phước Đồng Industrial Park's proactive COVID-19 prevention program, which aims to present and detect early cases among workers. CTG Artificial Grass Company pays for the purchase of about 350 test tools. The results of all samples were negative, and the employees who were sampled strictly adhered to safety rules in COVID-19 pandemic prevention activities. Companies in the Phước Đồng Industrial Parks are currently investing in 5,000 rapid tests for random testing and screening for COVID-19 pandemic. The Provincial Department of Health and Gò Dầu District Health Center also have agreed to organize training for medical staff from companies in Phước Đồng Industrial Park on taking samples of testing in order to help them to be more proactive in their anti-pandemic work.
To strictly implement measures to prevent and control the COVID-19 pandemic, Tay Ninh City Interdisciplinary Inspection Team recently organized an inspection of the city business establishment, catering service, cultural and sports service, and tourism, entertainment areas, and accommodation facilities. The team inspected the non-wearing a mask when leaving house, mass gathering, the suspension of business and service activity under the direction of the City People Committee on strengthening the implementation of COVID-19 epidemic prevention and control activity in the city. Expect business establishment providing cultural, sport and tourism service, amusement park, and lodging establishment for compliance with regulation in the implementation of measures to prevent and control the COVID-19 epidemic. The inspection revealed that majority of people strictly adhere to the mask requirement. The inspection team also reminded staff to arrange table and chair to ensure distance and not to gather more than 20 people at the same time, thereby contributing to effective prevention and control of the COVID-19 epidemic.
And ladies and gentlemen, Tân Châu District Union recently coordinated with Tân Đồng Commune Union and officials and soldiers of Khartoum border station to organize the implementation road lighting works border patrol using solar lights along the border patrol route in Đông Biên Hamlet, Tân Đồng Commune. According to Mr. Hoàng Văn Hữu, Secretary of Tay Ninh District Youth Union, the project of lighting up the border patrol road with solar lights in Đông Biên Hamlet, Tay Ninh Commune, the section managed by the border guard station of Khartoum, has a total length of nearly 5 km with about 50 bulbs, with a capacity of 150 watt per port. With a capacity of about 150 watt. TayNinhTV Cement Joint Stock Company sponsored the project at a cost of more than 100 million Vietnam dong. The Tân Đồng Commune Youth Union and officials and soldiers from Khartoum Border Guard Station work together to build and install the piers. To work to illuminate the border patrol route and not only assist frontline forces in patrolling and preventing illegal trade and COVID-19 pandemic spreading, but also contributes to improving the situation, theft, crimes, drugs trafficking, and other social evils in the border areas.
Ladies and gentlemen, most small businesses have recently faced difficulty as a result of the COVID-19 epidemic, and the purchasing power has decreased significantly. Long Hải Market in Hoa Thanh Town were also in a similar predicament. Furthermore, in the past, many locals have chosen to visit other markets due to numerous false rumors that the Long Hải Market areas is one of the places FO and F1 visit. Faced with such challenges, many small businesses have found ways to overcome them. Long Hai Market in Trường Tây Commune is well-known shopping destination for residents of Trường Tây Commune, Long Thành Nam Commune, and Long Thành Trung Ward in Hoa Thành Town. This market is usually very early and very crowded, especially on the first days of the lunar month or on the full moon day. However, the number of people visiting Long Hai Market at this time was significantly lower than it had been before Hoa Thành Town had the first cases of COVID-19 infection in the community. Many small traders in the Long Hai Market area claimed that there were numerous false rumors that patient FO and F1 had visited nearby locations. This rumor caused people in neighboring communes and were to switch to other markets, and people in Trường Tây Commune were also restricted from visiting the market. It is even more difficult for small traders to buy and sell in this situation. However, the local businesses are still attempting to find ways to survive. To keep customers, some people look for a source of clean and cheap vegetables, while others concentrate on agricultural products that are easy to consume in the market. This market is very empty. People go to the market in very small number. Up to 70% of customers go less. My house grows water spinach that I roll and sell at the market. The amount I roll is sufficient for me to get through the day. Small businesses that specialize in selling cotton and cakes for the local vegetarian, they face even more challenges. Despite taking half as many goods as before, they are frequently out of stock after the market. The more difficult it is, however, the more they try to manage. The day of fasting, the day of worship, is no longer shown days, it's one word. People in the garden have a lot of people buying, but now there are very few people buying. If I don't sell them all, I go around the neighborhood selling them all. I've been selling flowers at the market since October before Tet. It's very sluggish right now due to the epidemic, much more sluggish than before Tet. I sold 20 bullets in the morning. When this market closed, I still had a lot of flowers, so I went to another market to sell them, then to Long Hoa Market to rush around to sell them again because I could rent a store there. This is the time when small traders selling processed food and breakfast food in the market rely on one order to overcome difficulties. On today's semi-salty, vegetarian them semi-vegetarian days. These days, I doubt to half of one I used to be. I buy ingredients at the market, sell them, and get my money back. I managed to do the rest. During this difficult time due to the epidemic, every industry is attempting to overcome obstacles. Small traders in market have attempted to better serve customers in the past, and many small traders not only trade in traditional market, but also use home delivery service to serve customers who do not come to the market. Small trader efforts have also aided farmers in selling agricultural products in the province. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.